big crowds at Earl's Court. The Governor of the Bank of England, Sir Leslie O'Brien, who opened the motor show, said the car industry was a bigger than ever export booster. But though the shiny new exhibits whet homegrown appetites, British sales have taken a hard knock.
It's no secret that British cars have a history.
Last week, the group announced a meagre £70 million profit. At a sombre news conference, the chief executive said they'd made a loss so far this year.
So where did this obsession for so many come from? That drive to maintain something so horribly out of touch.
Well, now, what is the solution? Should it be split up, this company?
This journey will take me way back in time to explore aspects of this hobby of mine I haven't really thought of before. Something I came across on my journey was this, and if you were born or around in the 1970s, you'll know exactly what these are. These are magazines detailing the latest improvements in systems like hydropneumatic suspension and electronic fuel injection and skiing in the Middle East. It's exciting stuff. I'm only slightly kidding here, because what you notice when reading through this is that there's an almost integrated level of respect they credit to the reader and the consumer. The consumer is treated with such an amount of respect you cannot find today anymore. I mean, look at this. With every somewhat new important car that came out, they had a chap drive it around for a few weeks, and then he'd write about everything he thought of when driving it. He'd write about the engine, the brakes, the gear changes, systems like hydropneumatic suspension and electronic fuel injection, why they were so important, the pros, the cons, everything you'd want to read. And the best of all, they knew what he was on about. I challenge anyone today to pick up a car magazine and see if you'll find anything even remotely close to the level of respect they credit the reader here. I'll bet you £1 million you can't. It's a point not often thought of, but I firmly believe that this lack of respect for the consumer is why cars like these fell out of style. I read last week, right, there was a man in Belgium. He had an old Jaguar, I believe it was a Sovereign. And instead of being proud he was running and driving that car around daily, he got a letter from his local council in his mailbox. In it was a new incentive program they were running. He was offered money to scrap his beloved car because they were bad for the environment, ruining your health and causing cancer and whatnot. Would you like to know how much money he was offered to crush his beloved car? Wrong. 1,000 of Belgium's finest euros. I mean, that is just insulting. It's not even low. This is what these wombles and offers don't understand. That's not just 1.5 tons of brass, leather, and metal. That's stories, that's memories. Every crack and every rattle, that's the car talking to the driver. You cannot put a price on that, especially not when it's as low as that rubbish they were offering him. We can manage just fine without you. We don't need you, you Dayglow bar. To calm down a bit, I decided to go for a talk and a moan about the state of the current car industry with a like-minded soul.
My name is Jonathan Cresswell. I've been a classic car mechanic for, well, more than 10 years now. When I was 15, I bought my first Land Rover. I never owned anything but an English car, to be honest.
Really? Never?
Never had something else.
That's crazy.
No.
That's commitment, that is.
That is commitment, isn't it?
Now, this may be a bit specific, but why did you gravitate towards the British side? Why not Italian or American? What made you say British?
I gravitated to the British because they're the best cars in the world, to be frankly. From a very young age, we always went to England, so we have a lot of passion for the English culture. I do like the tradition in the English car industry as well, so it was a natural roll into the scene.
It's a very simpler sort of life than what we're used to here, isn't that right?
The English are always more traditional, and why make it complicated when simple does the job? To be honest with you, it's quite an uncomplicated life, and I think that's something that we all strive to have a simple life.
Why do you think this, about a simple formula of the British sports car that we all think about, why do you think that has stood the test of time? Has it stood the test of time?
It has. I mean, there's many people in England try to still live in that kind of era, in 50s and 60s, but a lot of people outside of England try to copy that. I mean, we all imagine ourselves with a flat cap driving around in a British sports car. It's enjoying the simpler things in life, I think, and it's all about the emotions, and you're closer to nature. It's the sounds, it's the smells and everything, and it will always be there, I think. It's not about your car, it's not about your friend's car, it's about all the cars together, which makes it a nice atmosphere. And it doesn't matter if you have an expensive, exclusive one, even in a Mini, which isn't that exclusive at all, you're still part of it. Just a very small anecdote,
Go ahead.
When Brooklyn's, the very first purposely built racetrack was built and opened, they didn't really know how the opening would be, so they just had a few cars coming over, and they did a few parade laps around. It was all very jolly and everything. Then they had lunch, probably a few drinks, and then the first race happened.
After the drinks as well.
After the drinks, not planned. Just the boys got a few drinks and said, right, my car is faster than your car.
Well, let's see about that.
And they started racing, and I think it's that will keep the classic cars going as well. It's the boys, and of course now girls as well, but it's not just the car you get. If you get a modern car, nobody cares. You just get a car, you get to work and everything. But by owning one of them, you're part of a club, you're part of something social. If you own one of these cars, you didn't buy it new, so it already has history before you. It will also have history after you. So you're just a custodian, as they say. You are writing just a small part of its history. And I think that's a nice thing to imagine, that you're just part of that history.
No, exactly. There is that sort of, I think that's, in my opinion, what's sort of missing from today's enthusiast car world. But there's a certain humility, I think, in accepting that. In accepting that I'm not the so-and-so owner of this car, I am, as you say, a custodian of it. Very specific example. I was sat in traffic a while back, and I was behind, I want to say, a new Volkswagen, the new station wagon. And that is a run-of-the-mill business car station wagon. But it had this sort of, well, all cars have these LED light bars at the back. But the emblem itself at the tailgate was illuminated as well.
Yeah.
And I just thought, have we truly lost all humility when it comes to our cars?
It's quite funny that you mentioned that, because I have a thing about these illuminated logos on cars.
Horrid.
It's funny how in the 90s, when people who tuned cars, they did it, and we all took the mickey out of them, because we thought, oh, fuck, idiot, basically, right? And now the car brands are doing it themselves. It's like, what is that all about? It's horrible things.
Yeah.
Horrible things.
And I mean, not just styling in and of itself. I mean, I can probably need a dozen hands to count the amount of new enthusiast cars that come out, and it's 1,000 horsepower, hybrid, this or that, and that doesn't excite me anymore. There's no, as I say, there's no humility in that, in my opinion.
No, and that's hitting the nail on the head, to be honest. I think that's one of the reasons, again, why people go back to these cars, because if you go to the supermarket car park, you can't tell one car from another. It's very similar. They're all either grey, black, or white.
Grayer and grayer stuff.
Exactly. Okay, it's not a very good example, having a black Mini here.
There's some gold on there as well, it's fine.
Exactly. It's and I think that's why people go back to these, because they have a character. Mm-hmm. There's not many cars nowadays who have a character. I mean, when I was a kid, sitting in the car with my father driving somewhere, I could tell cars from the backlights. I could say, oh, that's that car, that's that.
I did the same with the logos in the wheel when we were driving. I recognized them from that.
Exactly, but now cars are they're not really, there's not a lot of imagination. I mean, going back to these with nice little round headlights.
This is fun.
It's something cute, it's something fun, it's something playful about them, but modern cars are aggressive.
I think we have truly lost the plot when you can today walk into a Kia dealership and walk out with a car that can outrun any old Ferrari.
Because every car is so powerful now and everything, where's the excitement? You can drive 200 kilometers an hour and still feel safe, and it doesn't excite you. Well, if you do, let's say, 80 kilometers an hour around small country lanes with one of them, that's fun, that's exciting, but speed-wise and power-wise, it's nothing. And I think that's something that is being killed in modern cars. Your sense of speed is gone, your sense of excitement is gone. It's all very flat, even though you got 100 brake horsepower and you got all the torque in the world, but is it really that exciting?
Not anymore. But how can we communicate that to these younger people, to outside people, outside of our world, that it really is worth the money you put into it? Because that's all they ever see. They always see the time and the money
side.
that's gone into it. Yeah.
That's a good question, difficult question to answer. It's always difficult if you have to explain something, because I can teach anybody how to work on the cars, that's not the problem. The only thing you can't teach is passion. And I think that's the most difficult. So to answer your question, how will we explain that? Maybe if we have to explain it, it's not worth the effort explaining it.
And I've spent hours, and I do mean hours, whether that's online or in person, arguing with people like, no, this is worth my time, this is worth X amount of money to put into it. And usually it's always people that aren't into old-timers or classic cars that simply won't, I say listen to reason, but that have their opinion.
Then find a subject that everybody has and that no one can explain. And that's love. Think about it. Mm-hmm. You can't explain love, why you love a certain person or whatever. I mean, that's one thing with classic cars, it's the emotions around it and the emotion that it brings, and whether it's you driving it or the person standing at the side of the road smiling because you walk past.
Give me a thumbs up as well.
The small kid just waving at you for no reason, because he's a small kid, he doesn't know what you are or who you are, but he sees it and it brings instant joy to them. That's what it's all about, in my opinion.